LA consistently ranks number one when it comes to the smoggiest cities in the US. 8.8 million premature deaths globally because of air pollution. This doesn't just affect our health, but also ultimately our welfare. Now the good news here is that we spend 90% of our time indoors, and importantly building standards were tightened up. So we really started to seal the envelope of buildings. It was great for energy efficiency, but ultimately what it led to was something called sick building syndrome. So we're breathing the same air over and over again, and that led to very negative outcomes. When we just look at the modern world, the places where we live, the places where we work, we're significantly exposed to deficient homes and to actually office space that has very high levels or elevated levels of CO2. Basically, with the exception of the richest quartile, when the home gets worse, you go to the doctor more often. So how does indoor environmental quality affect mostly cognitive performance? And we look at that in live, work, and not in play, but in learning. Another more stylized fact, so these are the residuals of a very simple regression of health on observables, so age and income, gender, etc., etc. So here's age, and then on the y-axis we have self-reported mental health and physical health. What's important here is the delta between, in the solid line, homes that are in good condition versus homes that are in not so good condition, and there's a consistent gap between the two. There seems to be a significant effect of the bad health indicator or of housing conditions on the extent to which you report on bad health, and that holds for both physical health as well as mental health. When your home starts to fall apart, so how do we know that? Well, it's in good condition, it needs partial renovation, needs major renovation. That doesn't lead immediately to more or to initial visits to the doctor, but for those that already go, it leads to a higher number. We find that visits to the doctor go down in homes that have been renovated, whether it's full renovation, not so much for windows, but certainly for HVAC. So we think this is kind of the cleanest way that we can identify the impact of a home renovation on health outcomes. So this is about actually the impact of indoor environmental quality on the performance of, in this case, elementary school students. There's about 130,000 school buildings in the US, and a large fraction of those have really seen underinvestment. And what we know is that buildings strongly affect our health. It's where we spend 90% of our times. It depends on how we, it determines how we walk, etc., but it also determines what we breathe and the exposure to CO2. I think we're starting to learn some first lessons on indoor air quality, environmental quality, and cognitive performance. And I think there's a lot more to learn.